Hello, my name is Christopher Stanley, and this is my entrance video into the first Phorm Outdoors Pro Staff Search. I am here because I obviously want to be a Pro Staff member of First Phorm. There are a lot of driving factors to that. I would say mostly I am already Pro Staff on a couple different companies staffing, and it's on a way smaller scale than First Phorm would be, but I absolutely love it. I work trade shows for them. I get to meet a lot of people in the industry, and it's an awesome experience. I believe that being on Pro Staff with First Phorm would be life-changing. Every single person within the company that I have talked to, that I have dealt with so far, has been way over the top, like 100%. I can't say enough good things about the company and the people there. The values that the company holds, perfect. Like, I want to be a part of something like that. Finding this Pro Staff Search has also led me to get back into living a healthier lifestyle, being a better person, being more responsible, and just going out every day to live my best life. I'm going to jump back a little bit, because one thing that brings me here is I've lived a very rough life. I am 40 years old, and I dealt with drug addiction for 13 years. From the time I was 15 to the time I was 28, my life was hell. It was a mess. And in that time frame, I didn't really have a whole lot to do with the outdoors. I was actually living basements, wherever I could find. So I'm going to jump back a little bit. Living in a household with my mom and a stepfather was very rough for me. Although we were a Catholic family, my stepfather was an abusive alcoholic. And the way that life was very hard for me. I have brothers and sisters from my mom and my stepfather, and being the outsider in that family, I feel like a shadow was always cast over me. But my stepfather did instill some good things in me. He raised me as a deer hunter and as an open water fisherman. And I love open water fishing. I don't do it nearly as much with my job nowadays, but it's something that I love. My father, who I was only at his house every other weekend at best, he would have raised me right. He did raise me right. When I was with him, we did all the things a boy could dream of back in the 80s and early 90s. Pheasant hunting, we went on trips all over the place. We had our bird dogs, a Brittany Spaniel and a German short-haired pointer. And he also taught me about ice fishing. Ice fishing is my absolute passion. And to date, it's probably what I enjoy the most in life. Back to my mom's house, living in a household of hell, and a stepfather who was verbally and physically abusive. I lashed out and I started smoking pot at 15. Maybe that's normal for some people, but that instantly led me to way worse decisions. And I ended up befriending someone who was a Ritalin junkie. And at 16, I was starting a downward spiral, snorting Ritalin pills. By 18, I had gone fully blown into a meth addiction, and in and out of jail. I didn't have anything to lean on except meth. That was my crutch. I completely disregarded my family and left it alone. I went and did my own thing. I didn't have a care in the world about anyone or anything. It was all about getting high. In and out of jails and treatments for first few years and through my early 20s. Didn't seem to change anything for me. Watching my family through glass at the jail and trying to have a conversation with them, trying to have them reason with me, didn't do it for me. It was rough, and many times court ordered, go to treatment, try to figure it out. I couldn't do it. I wasn't ready, and I struggled. When I was 26, I was in a state prison, Stillwater prison in Minnesota, and my first son was born. And that hit me in the feels. Like that was really rough for me. And at that time, I made a decision to turn my life and my will back over to God. My first son's mother, who had my son while I was locked up, she made things really bad for me when I got out. And yeah, I probably did it to myself, but I was just trying to be a part of my son's life. I ended up relapsing after that due to some legal stuff that I just couldn't deal with. Not having a support system, not having people to talk to because I had already kicked my family to the curb. Things were rough. So I ended up going back. But the last time that I had done any drugs, November 11th, 2011, I got high and got into a high-speed chase. And, well, I was put in the back of the squad car and I went away for some time. When I hit that jail cell for the last time, I hit my knees and I turned everything over, and I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. And I spent the rest of my time in there until I was free, focusing on what I had done and how I can fix it. And that came to God. God is the only way. Whether you believe in him or not, a higher power, something. It wasn't an addiction that I could beat on my own. So being clean and being out and starting life over has been a struggle. But from day one, I made it a priority to get outdoors, do things that I love, and what I really fell in love with again was ice fishing. Started with nothing. When I was released for the last time, June 14th, 2014, I had nothing. I had no bank account. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a home. And there was no stopping me. I came out guns blazing, and I've made a family. I married a beautiful woman, and she had one boy, and we ended up having another boy, and having 3 boys in the house now, in a house that I built, is extremely awesome. I can't even fathom what I've done with my life since I got out. Getting my driver's license back, building a house. I have an awesome career. I can't complain about a thing. I can't even take anything for granted. I have a nice truck. I have a company truck. I have a boat. I have an ice castle. For those of you that don't know what an ice castle is, it's basically an RV that you drive out onto the lake with in the wintertime, and you can drop the axles and that thing drops right down to the ice and you fish in it. Coming from some place where I never thought that I was going to have a license again, it still amazes me 10 years later after being released that God let me do this with my life. I'm trying not to get all the feels here. So I'm here, and I don't want to be stopped. I want to be a part of another team. A couple months ago, I seen the ad pop up on Facebook for this pro staff search, and I'm like, sure, what the heck? I'm already pro staff. Like, this is going to be fun. Little did I know that it's going to be another big turning point. It was going to be another big turning point in my life. Because once I applied and I got on the first Phorm Outdoors page on Facebook and I seen what you guys are all about, that lit a fire under my ass. I have been on a mission to get my ass back in shape. Back in July of 2023, I went down to South Carolina with my family and we took Christmas pictures there. And not thinking anything of it at this time, you know, I was drinking more than I should have. Drinking is not necessarily a problem for me, but when you're drinking 5-6 days a week, not healthy. We were down on vacation and we took family photos and did our Christmas card photos down there, and I'm actually looking at it on the refrigerator right now. And when we got back and we seen the proofs of those photos, it was amazing at how heavy I was. 10 years ago, I was at 182 pounds. I was very in shape. I ran 5 miles every day. Like, I was healthy. And I got the dad bod since then. Raising a family, getting into the routine, the grind. drinking, eating unhealthy as a construction worker, eating on the road, energy drinks in the morning. Like, nothing was good. Nothing's been good for past 7 or 8 years. Just been living an unhealthy life. When I seen the proofs from those pictures, I went and put myself on the scale, which I hadn't been on in a long time. 220 pounds. Talk about a gut check, a real gut check. I made a decision at that time that it's time to change my life. So I started eating healthier. I started making sure that I packed lunches. I started making sure that I was planning out my meals. Not necessarily meal prepping, but planning out my meals. Not going to the grocery store and just winging it. I planned out what I wanted for the week and what I was going to pack in my lunch. And slowly, up until I got onto this first Phorm page, I was slowly just coming down half pound a week, just trying to get back to a decent weight. Your guys' inspiration on first Phorm has inspired me to hit the ground running. And I've never been one to take supplements, take any kind of pre-workouts, none of that. I've now put in quite a few orders with first Phorm, and wow, like the products that I've used, I don't have anything to compare them to, but wow, do they work. I've been losing weight. You can start to see the definition. You can see, if you follow anything on my social media, I've been posting my journey. I've shrunk out of my belt, my work belt. My work pants don't stay up anymore. And man, do I feel good. On top of that, being in the state of mind that I want to get up and put in my best day and then work out. I don't want to come home and have a beer anymore. That desire to want to have an ice cold beer after a long day at work is completely gone. I want to drink a protein shake. On top of that, every single person that I had an interaction with at first Phorm has been completely over the top. The attitude, the happiness, every single person is just full of inspiration, and it makes you want to be the best you can be. And I'm here. I'm living my best life. And I want more. Talking with Jamie, I don't want to chop up his last name, Casada. What an awesome dude. He really is. I had an awesome phone conversation with him. That dude is so inspiring. And I love seeing his posts. He's always happy. CJ Thornton. That dude right there, I've only had email conversations with him. I shared some of my stories in my past when I was younger, fishing with my dad and stuff. And we had some laughs through email. It was awesome. A week after we had that email conversation, I got a package at the door from first Phorm. I didn't order anything. He made me a plaque for my ice castle that has an ice fisherman sitting over a hole with my last name underneath it. Never in my life had I felt that way because somebody that I never even met went out of their way to do something so cool for me. And this is why I'm here. I want to be a part of something like this. I can't even describe what kind of feeling that was. And now I want to meet everybody. I want to meet the whole company. I definitely want to be a part of this team. I don't need to be a part of this team, but I want to. I know my journey, my health journey is just starting. And I'm going to be here whether I make pro staff or not. Like, this has been such a life-changing event for me that I don't think I'll ever go back to my old ways. Eating healthy, wanting to work out. I just love it. So I'm here, I'm spreading hope. There's many people out there that are hopeless. There's many people out here that have a worse story than me, and there's some that don't even have anything compared to me. But I'm gonna run on this pro staff gig as I'm here, I made it through hell, and I transformed my life. I'm living proof of that. And now I'm here to transform my health and do it while I enjoy the outdoors. So with that, thanks for letting me be part of the search. And I hope to meet all of you very soon.